And we're live. I think we're live. Let's cut the music, pause the music, and get over to the comments section. Wow, check all the comments out already. God, he's all mad. Right. Oh, shit, I didn't even got my hat on. Ha ha. There we go. Oh my God. Anyway, hail, Paul. Let's get in some of the comments. First of all, God, there's loads of people online. Right. First one up, we'll get some comments up first. There's 24 people online. Kevin, he says, can't wait. Been offline for 3 weeks. Where you been, man? Hope you've been on holiday. Martin says, good start. Can't wait for the season to start. And we'll just see if there's more people coming on. Let me just check that it's live. Yep, there we go. There's now 40 watching. Perfect. I'll just turn this down. Turn that down. We're live. Right, let's go. Ewan Boy says, hail. Let's get some of the comments out there. Tam and Shamrock says, hail. And aeroplanes. Rod Fabrican, Abada seems to be staying now. Has to be good for us. Whereas tonight, hail, lads and lasses. And let's see what this one says. Going to see James Forrest match. Tickets booked. Perfect. 22 seems all right for a legend. Paul Baird, welcome to the channel. Paul, hail. Sean, hail from Dublin. God, there's lots of Street says, hey, Tony, Lee. Girl, let's see. There's loads of comments, absolutely loads of comments. If we missed out your comments, I'm sorry. I'll try and get through as much of them as we can. Right, Big John Harrison, what's he saying? Big John Harrison's saying, if Hatate goes, it's a 45 million no-brainer. Wolfed. Is he seriously saying that? That's a massive amount of money. Hatate for 45 million. I don't think we'll be selling Hatate this season. There's no chance about that. He has said that he's looking to be with Celtic for this summer. And he wants to prove himself in Champions League. If Hatate proves himself in the Champions League like he did last year, he'll definitely be with Celtic all this season. But John Hartson is right. If we were to sell Hatate, it would be that. Well, I'm not going to say that. You know, John Hartson knows his stuff. I actually spoke to John Hartson on the phone. That was the most bizarre thing ever. I was sitting in the local Chinese, and my brother was at a night with John, and a video called me and answered the phone, and it's John Hartson that's on the phone, and I'm like, and I'm saying to the missus, it's John Hartson. She's like, who? Anyway, absolutely mad. Anyway, right, let's move on. Mark says, hail. Andrew says, hail. Patrick, I hope Hatate stays for at least another year. Is there something happened today that I've missed that everybody's talking about Hatate? I think he is going to be staying. Anyway, the big news is we've had 2 signings in already. We're all keeping tabs because we want it to be a treble. We want today to be a treble. Oh, Celtic, what have they just done? Oh, that's Yang. 6 minutes ago, exclusive interview. Celtic social media are putting out something. But there has been a leak from Celtic Park, and I'm going to put up this picture and to show the 3 signings that we have made. So there's obviously your 2 South Korean boys and their £4.3 million defender all being pitched together. So are Celtic are about to make another announcement this evening, or will they wait till tomorrow morning just to try and keep as much as the media to themselves? It was actually good timing today. Celtic put out the, I need to go back here, brand, hide that. So yeah, Celtic today, at the exact time that the media were getting ready to praise Sevco and talk about Sevco being in the Champions League, Celtic put out the fact that they had just signed a player, which was fantastic timing. And then they waited another couple of hours later just to make sure that they gained as much media attention as possible. And the games have started. Obviously, I think Sevco back home have been dominating the press with players that they've been signing. I couldn't even tell you who have signed. I'm not really concerned. And they're of no concern to me. It's all about us and what we can do this season. Right, let's get back into the comments. Paul Baird. We'll go with this one first of all, actually. It's actually never be sold. No price is big enough. Greatest playmaker since Auld and Murdoch. It's probably true, but he does want to move at some point. Right, Ginny, get out there. The dog's kicking about my feet. Right, up here. Up. Sit up there. Jesus. Never work with dogs and kids. They say. Anyway, Paul, he says, I still think there'll be 2 or 3 more signings before the window closes. I'm expecting. The thing is, this Kieran Tierney thing keeps on ticking away, and I think that we're still going to make a signing that might make that bit of a difference in the Champions League for us. But you don't know. You don't know. The Korean boys all looks good. The Korean boys, they look. Yeah, they do. They do look tall. I'm going to put that picture back up. Bear with me a second. I'll put that picture back up. The fact that the defender is 6'2", and the Korean boy looks about the same height as him, so it's given us some good height to the team. So yeah, the Korean boys look tall, so that's maybe something that the Japanese boys haven't brought to the team, is that height. We did all say that we need a bit of height to the team, so hopefully they're good players and they do a trick for us. But yeah, they do. Considering the defender is 6'2", the other Korean boys, one's about the same height as him, and then the other one's not far behind him. So yeah, that looks interesting. And you know how Brendan Rodgers likes a good bit of height in his team. Wait a minute to get a bit of my coconut Red Bull. And that wasn't a paid promotion. For anybody else. I wonder when the third signing will be. It's not been announced yet. Right, last night we had some information coming live to us during the live, so hopefully we'll all keep an eye on Celtic social media. It is 6 o'clock back home. Celtic do like their 6 o'clock, the back of 6 announcements. Hopefully it is tonight on the live, and that would just be even funnier. But I think they're going to roll over till tomorrow so that they can get the announcement, and then they'll get the pictures of the 3 guys together. Let's get some more. What's this one? I was reading about Rocky before your blog. There we go. What was it saying about him? Tam, tell me. Come on, you boys and Graham says, Andrew, knock, knock, Proud Boys. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come on, Jota. Let's say Jota who? Oh my goodness, exactly. The Huns are getting scalped. Right, let's get some sensible comments in. Come on. Yang looks at player. I've not seen any video footage of him as yet. There's 152 people on the live. Make sure that you get the thumbs up. Just do some of this just to see what's happening. That's perfect. Right. So I just wanted to scalp them. Yeah, I think William, I'm missing them already, Proud Boys. Who's missing? Jota? Nah, I think this season we're going to have a few new stars. I think Leo Abada will step up to the mark this season, and I think this wide boy that we just brought in for South Korea, watch out for him, because I've got a funny feeling that he could be a bit of a player. And it's this new unknown. Hopefully it'll be a keeper that was signed this week. Abada, wait a minute. Abada staying is a huge bonus, and he will shine under Rodgers. Yes, he definitely will. Gigi, I think he'll be one player that'll love the fact Proud Boys still can't get over it. I'm going to tell you, in the last game of the season, there was a person in our pub that got a Jota t-shirt made, and she wouldn't wear it on the day. She wouldn't wear it for the cup final. She says, I'll wear it the first game of next season. And we said to her then, if he goes this summer, I'm blaming you for not wearing that t-shirt. And then I seen her on Saturday, and it was good to take ripping her a bit because she didn't wear that t-shirt, and he's went. But he's left us 25 million better off. So it's about time Celtic started spending some of that 25 million. I hope we sign a keeper this week. I'll be happy if it's either if we're not going to sign that Don McLaughlin offer, he's away to Fenerbahce, or Keeler. There's a lot. I was talking to a couple of Irish boys in the pubs actually, and they say that the boy for Liverpool would jump at the chance to come to Celtic. They obviously have connections with him back home. It's a mad Irish area down just down the coast for me. It's just full of Irish, and they all have connections to back home, and a lot of them have holiday homes here and they come over. But no, there's a guy come over, he's over for a month, and he said that Keeler would be he would love it. He would absolutely love it if he could get to Celtic. Still can't get over it. He's not signed for Fenerbahce already. Hunter's getting scalped. Great news at Abada. Is Abada just as good as Jota? I think Abada's got a bit more pace than Jota, I think. I mean, Jota was good and he could take on players, but when you look at the pace that Abada's got, I think he'll bring something. Oh, right. I'll have to we're talking about Taylor here, and to give you Taylor a challenge. Did you watch the the Celtic video, the Taylor team talk, that was got to admit, Celtic are going to up their game a bit this season. The production could have been a bit better. It was all done by Taylor. And if you watched it till the end with the credits, it was like everything was done by Taylor apart from the Callum McGregor bit, where Callum McGregor played himself. So that was a little bit of comedy. It was good. A lot of people were saying it was good that Celtic are actually putting out 15-minute content rather than over in Japan, they were putting out 2 or 3 minute videos, which was that was just drip feeding us information. And I think there'll be a lot more of that this season. And there'll be a lot more interaction with the players also as the Celtic media team step up their game. What's the big... I've seen him win the ball in the air. Talking of good goalkeepers, what about Fraser Foster coming back? No. He had the chance to stay with us for the 10 and he didn't. And I think he's had his time. Fraser Foster went to England to try and be the number one goalkeeper in England, and he didn't do that. So, I don't think we should try Henderson from Notts Forest. I don't know about that one. Celtic have got a thing of pulling players at the bag, and we said that last week. And they're going to, the vendor that we're just bringing in, Norrocky. Nobody mentioned him for weeks, and Celtic just come at the bag and said, right, the deal's it's an incoming deal. It's an incoming deal. So I like the way that Celtic's doing their business. They're keeping it behind closed doors as much as possible. Big Stevie says our recruitment in recent years has been focused on developing players, something which Rodgers excels in. Celtic will be a force to be reckoned with. Hail, hail. Stevie, if you watched the interview with Greg Taylor and Callum McGregor that went out this afternoon on Celtic TV, Greg actually teases Callum with it. He says, did you go anywhere on holiday after the meeting? So I think the players are all having a bit of a laugh at him and a wee dig, and I think they might be calling him the teacher's pet, Callum. But they'll know how important and the relationship that Callum has with the manager, and the fact that he met up with him on holiday after being in the south of France and being on holiday in Spain. He met up with the incoming manager before he had decided that he was coming back, and obviously the club. So it shows you that the talks, as soon as they knew Ange was leaving, as soon as that happened, they'd obviously started talks with Brendan straight away. So the media was going on about lots of other things. I mean, the board obviously done its due diligence and interviewed other folk for the job, but there's only been twice before that our owner has stepped up to the mark, and the first time was when Martin O'Neill was made manager. It was well known that he decided to get Martin, and he brought Martin to Celtic. And then when Brendan Rodgers was offered, it was the same again. Our billionaire owner stepped up to the mark then. Let's get to this one. Miranda, my hubby and myself, love your channel. Hail, hail. Thank you for that, Proud Boys. Let's see what you're saying. Jesus. Right. Love Abada. Personally, I'd never take Fraser Foster back. Says, that's interesting because you've got Patrick there saying he would take Big Fraser Foster back on a 2-year deal, no problem. Now, I don't think taking a keeper back on a 2-year deal, I think we have to think about a bit longer term than that. I think getting a keeper in that's going to be with us for 3 or 4 years, that'll be the backbone of the club. That's the only way that you progress. If you build it from the back, I mean, every good team always starts with a really good keeper, really good defence, and then you've got your playmakers on front. Your playmakers can come and go, but if you can try and keep the main backbone of your team through the middle and the defence and the keeper, that's what's going to take us on to winning the league for the next 2 or 3 years. Soapy, let's see what that says. Abada cannot be sold. He's going great run in the team. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Soapy Van Abada is one to watch this season. I think he's going to have a fan. I'm going to say now, I think Abada will get Player of the Year. There we go. Before the game's even kicked, I think he'll be even more improved. I think he's going to score some amount of assists. He'll score the odd goal himself. I think he'll score a good amount of goals for us this season, and his pace will just annihilate. You've got to remember, everyone was doubling up in Jota last season. So Jota had the free reign the first season, and then last season you were getting teams that would double up on him, even in Europe. So hopefully Abada's got something about him that Brendan can just pull out and just make him that little bit better. I hope Brendan Rodgers plays his starting 11 from the start, the friendly in Dublin. I think he will do. He'll look to see how good his squad is and put the best players out, because it's a big test against them. Do you know what I mean? So, like O'Neill did when he played Sutton and Big John, let's run riot in the SPFL. I hope we run riot. I'm looking to score 4 goals in the first game of the season. I think we need to lay down a marker. We need to really lay down a marker and show our goal scoring. But then flag day is always weird. It's always a weird game because the players come out for the warm up and then they come out and whoever for the board and that'll come out and raise the flag and then that's it. And then the players have got to start the game and they have their warm up. They kind of calm down and it's weird. It's always a weird atmosphere as well. It's always a party atmosphere beforehand. They let off the fireworks and then that's it. Let me see what Lovett is saying. Yang and Tilo plus Kyogo will be something else, or a Bada and Maida with Kyogo. Wow, I think the fact that we've still got those options. Yes, I'm going to go to this one. People talking about the main man, Fraser Foster. He did shit out for 10 in a row. Go back to this comment. Yang, Tilo plus Kyogo will be something up front. We've got that many options again this season. You know, people are worried about the fact that we've not brought in players that are of a good enough standard. They're saying, let's see. You've got to remember the young boy that we brought in for South Korea. He was young player of the season in their league. So he has to be pretty decent to get that accolade. Anyway, let me see. Any fishermen out there? I need to go to Guruk. It's what? No thanks. Let me get this one. No thanks. Fraser Foster, no way. Dutch defender looks a cracking player with great impredity. Let's get some. Sorry, I'm late. Something today. I'm verbally abusing this. Oh dear, my goodness. Right. Anyway, if it's true, see, yes, Cameron Carter-Vickers is back in training. Right. So for those that missed the beginning of the live, we're going to bring this picture up again. There has been a picture released on social media. It's not an official Celtic picture, but it does show our 3 players. So we're all kind of sitting watching social media saying, are Celtic going to do a treble today? And not yet. There's nothing come through on Celtic Instagram or Twitter as yet. So it looks like it's just going to be the double signing today. But if you look at the height of the defender, Rocky, he is 6'2". It looks like the other Korean guy is about the same height as him, and the other one's just about 6 foot. So it gives us a good bit of height in the team, and it's something that we've been shouting out for quite a while. There's one hail from Amsterdam, Spud Willie. If you can accept Rodgers, we can accept Fraser Foster. Is Fraser Foster better than our current keeper, Joe Hart? There's a question for you, and we'll get this picture back off. So tell me in the comments, do you think Fraser Foster is better than Joe Hart? You've got to remember that Joe Hart has a wealth of experience, and how come that's not added? Joe Hart's got more experience than what Fraser Foster has, and he's done it consistently at a higher level. So would you bring Fraser Foster back? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. A lot of people are now talking about that. Let's get some more comments. Right. All 3 look built as well. That's what we need. Yeah, we need big, strong players. We needed to improve the sort of the upper body physique of players, and that's what we seem to have done with these 3 guys. Sean Bruce says, evening troops, hail. Can't wait for the season to start. Hail from Coatbridge. Yes, in my opinion. So Rod thinks that Fraser Foster is better than Joe Hart. That's an interesting one. I think that's one that will split the Celtic fans, purely for the fact that what Fraser Foster did the first time he was here. But you have to look what Joe Hart's done since he was here. So, and you've got to remember, Fraser Foster, and anyone that went to Celtic games at that time, will remember the fact that Fraser Foster used to come out every single half time and practice his kicking. Right, the rest of the players were still in the changing room getting their talk, and he'd be out every half time practicing his kicking which I always found completely bizarre because let's face it, Fraser Forster from doing kickouts was actually terrible. So he was never good at that. So that's one thing. But then we don't play that way anymore. Hail from Airdrie. Hail from from a wet London. Trips. Signings rolling in, keep them coming. Hart will do another season. We need someone to push on and eventually take over. Yes, that's something that we've all agreed on. It's not a necessity. That I think if we can get Siegrist playing a good amount of games this season, it'll be interesting to see how far we can push him. Bain for me should have been gone. I mean, I've said that many times on this channel. It's completely bizarre why Bain got a 3-year contract, but it must be to have the Scottish contingent. So Rambo Hill, I'm from Paisley. Let me just see. Let's get some more comments up. I hope the height of these boys will give us help in our set pieces because they've been honking for years. Corners have always been a thing for Celtic. We've never been good at corners for years, and it's just one of those things that hopefully these guys will give us that bit of height so we can bully people. We always score better goals, I felt, from corners when the ball gets pushed out, and then you've got a sitting midfield player or right back, left back, and then they hit the ball from the outside the box and then into the back of the net, as they say. Right, I think it's better than Hart. Just based on Celtic performances. You have to look at I'm going to tell you why I would rather Hart stayed at the club and we didn't bring him in, Fraser Forster, because if you bring in Fraser Forster, we're not going to be able to sell him on again for big money. I think it's proved that he's not going to move on in England for big money. So bringing him back would be a kind of a step backward in the Celtic business model. Having Joe Hart at the club, I think if you can keep Joe Hart obviously we've got him for the next year, but then if you can bring Joe Hart into the coaching system at Celtic, I think that's what will take us to the next level for the next 3 or 4 years after that. I don't know if we would accept Fraser Forster, but we have Rodgers. Refused us once, wouldn't take him back. He's splitting a lot of the comments here. So, right, let's get some more comments. We need goals from defence. It's tiresome with so many corners and set pieces, not much happening from them. It's something to work on. That's something that Roger, if you watch the Celtic, the team talk with Greg Taylor and Callum McGregor that was put on Celtic TV today, Callum talks about that. He talks about the fact that Brendan is a complete tactician compared to what Ange was. You know, he'll think nothing about changing the team formation in the middle of a game. He always thinks about it. And I was at a thing with Danny McGrain back in February 2020, just before lockdown. And Danny McGrain spoke about Brendan then, and he spoke about, I've actually got that interview, I think, on my channel. He spoke about the fact that Brendan was always interested. He was always looking at tactics. He was always speaking to other managers. He was always wanting to learn more about different formations in the game. He was just a complete football man, and he was immersed in the way that other teams play. And you know, Callum said that today. He says he is a complete tactician when it comes to it. And players will see, you'll see players coming on a lot more of this, and they'll use their knowledge of the game a lot better than what they did last season. Hart is way above Fraser Forster, says Tam Mac. You have to say that just purely on what he's actually achieved in his career. You know, Hart has achieved so much more in his career than what Fraser Forster has. And you've got to remember, everyone thought that Fraser Forster was going to go and then he would get sold on down south to make Celtic some money, but he wasn't. So let's see. Chopbot says, Danny, that was quite a few years ago, mate. He's slower now than we can jail, but he recently come back. Do it quick. Silver Joe. Hail from View Park. Mark, I'd take Fraser Forster back in a heartbeat. Made some decent saves for us. Yeah, that was a few years ago. He saved us a few times in the Barca win. Yep. There's a guy from Valencia. Who's from Valencia? Giorgio, where's his comment? I can't see his comment. Anyway, let me skip through. There's a lot of things in the comments. Hail, Lorna. Yeah, Lorna, we're going to be doing more lives, more regular. So keep a lookout for them. It's probably going to be 6 o'clock UK time. I can see you, Fraser Forster, playing the ball out. No, not a chance. There's a thought. You know, the fact that Fraser, right there, that's a comment of the day. The fact that Fraser Forster used to spend half time practicing kicking the ball out. Could you imagine him kicking the ball out to Carl Starfelt? Oh my goodness. If you think that Joe Hart gives you absolute kittens, then could you imagine Fraser Forster doing it? That would just be, give me a second. Thank goodness this is it's non-alcoholic. It's Red Bull. Right. Lorna, nice to see you back in another live. Joe Hart has immense experience to pass on and still a good keeper. I think that's Spud. I think that's exactly right. And that's one of the reasons I'd like to keep him at the club long term, keeping him in with the coaching staff, given his vast experience over the years. You know, you don't get 75 games for England and be a shabby keeper. You know, you have to use that experience that he's had over the years, and bringing that through to the young guys will be something else. So hail from Bulgaria. That's a good one. Hail to Patrick, who's in Bulgaria. There's don't forget Fraser Forster win the League Cup against the Huns single-handedly. Yeah, he did that, but it was years ago and it was in the past. So we have to look forward, and we have to bring in another holy goalie type player. We have to bring in a player that's going to be with Celtic for a few years. Fraser Forster is at the wrong age for me now. He is. I'm not saying that he's a bad keeper. He's been there and he's done it, but the fact that he's a decent goalkeeper. He's not better than Hart. But for me, we need to bring in a goalkeeper that's up and coming and that we can maybe get some decent money for. Question for the troops. We paid $5 million for Fraser Forster in the 10 in a row. Could we have won? No. Too many players that season that were Neil Lennon spoke about this. There was players that were kept for the 10 season that were reluctant because they were told they were going to be sold. They were told. I always said, when we get to the 9, it'll be the fantastic achievement. And the big season would be the 10, because after the 9, there's nothing for the players that have achieved it. You know, players aren't interested in the record of the 10. You know, it was all about achieving the 9 again. The 9 in a row is always remembered for the Lisbon Lion era. So doing that again puts them up on a pedestal. The fact that it was done at Celtic for a second time in a row. So, you know, and we didn't do it without cheating or anything like that. You know, we did it. We played who was in front of us. You know, they could say it was 9 and 8.5 or whatever, but the fact that we did it, there was too many outfield players that weren't playing for the jersey that season and weren't definitely not playing for Neil Lennon. And I think that was his downfall. I think if Celtic wanted to win the 10, I think they should have probably changed manager. But then the whole COVID experience, playing in front of no fans, was just something that we'll never forget in our lifetime. Hart is part of the coaching team for next year. Definitely, Martin. That's what I've been saying. Get Hart and on the coaching. And that's it's our future setup. You know, and we need to think about sort of the planning for the future. And I think getting Hart on the coaching is going to be good. James says, look, the bottom line, if we don't find a good goalkeeper, we do nothing in Europe. Bain must be... I don't know what the story with Bain is. I know Foster, the same keeper nowadays, is one as well. Porchop says Foster's not the same keeper nowadays. He was cracking for us a decade ago. But yeah, Cooper, the keeper, right? It's just updated. Right, let's switch to right. Young interview. Just heard yeah, no, I just said Celtic just put that out at the same time as I went live, so I haven't watched it yet. Can the language barrier be a problem? No, because I think there's that many translators running about Celtic now than there is players. So Celtic, you know, they bring in these players in, and they also have got to bring in translators, and they've got to be with them full time during training. Do you know what I mean? So it's something else that Brendan will have to think about, is obviously. But then players are players, you know. They don't need to shout at that all the time. They can like make that run. Make that run. Tell I'm not a football coach. Anyway, there's 249 people on the live. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up, as it does help. And if you can, share it on Twitter. I'm just going to check social media again to see if Celtic are going to make another announcement tonight, but it doesn't look like it. So it looks like they're just going to try and hog the headlines, as they say, for tomorrow as well. Hart hands down. I think we need. I think you need to give a Love Your Life podcast, brilliant, from Torquay. Thanks for that, Peter. Welcome along. I'm going to keep doing lives as much as we can, and also be the morning news videos and maybe update videos during the day. Hail came from the Gorbals. Reunite last night, Celtic legend Peter Grant. There we go. On August 4th in the Loans in Socky Hill. Interviewed by Natasha Meikle. That's a good one. Give it a shout out. I just have, Big Red. I just have. So everyone take note of that and get along with that. Peter Grant's a fantastic fella. And he's got some good stories about Brendan. Brendan probably speaks about a Korean. Actually, there's a Korean barbecue place just opened over for us. I'm going to try it. Aren't we? Yes, dear. Big Joe shouting loads at the players on Saturday. Yes. Got to remember, Joe, I think he'll be a good member of the coaching staff. Let's just see what happens. Language barrier, needs to learn how to shout, for fuck's sake. Starfelt, clear it. Will Starfelt still be here? Right, let's jump on this and see if there's any Celtic news. I've been talking to Dermot Desmond. Celtic pitches intriguing position. It's all about the Yang deal, Celtic's Korean connection. Kiwon and Yang. Celtic duo set for loans as a partnership. Let's see what this one is. I'm just checking all the current news. And let me see. Toby. Looks like Toby's away out on loan. Well, might be all right to try and have a look into that and see. There will be a lot of players leaving this week. They'll go out on loan. There'll be players that because it's not a ticket event. And we could, as long as they don't start doing that dance. What was that dance? The Korean guy did that went mad on TikTok and that. We could create a pop band. Oh my god, beautiful human being. Cute. I can't wait till they start singing songs about them. Key one. That jingle catch on? Hope not. Hail from Houston, Texas. We are all around the world. So that's ones that have came up. That's a guy from Bulgaria. And Mark's coming in from Texas, Houston, the good old US of A. So get up on the live and tell us where you're coming from, because we are all around the world. Celtic fans. Gangnam Style. There it is, Sean. Yes. Oh man, that's just got every single one of us. I wonder if they do that dance in the dressing room. That would be McCarthy translating Brendan's Irish into English. Oh my god, Tam-Mac's pissing himself. Hail from Belfast. Get that Dutch lad, Aviar next door. What about Sevco suing the SPF? Oh, that's I don't know. I've never heard anything about this. What about Sevco suing the SPL? They got backing from the SFA about the league sponsor. You're having a laugh. Are they still going on about that? Saving them. Celtic Football Club, Celtic everywhere. Yes, right. Patrick is coming in from Belfast. I had a guy coming in from Bulgaria and then a guy from America also. We're totally around the world tonight. Let's get more people on the live. Make sure to share it on to Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And not Facebook, though, because Facebook's rubbish. I hate Facebook. Anyway. Where do you stand, Big Stevie, if left field attacker? Right, Gunn should do the firing shot. Good shout out for Gunn. How much would he go for? I'm trying to catch up on the comments here. Right, let me see what other Celtic news is kicking about. Rogers could sign the next Bobo Baldy. That's an interesting one. What's this? It's just an opinion, though. So, and there's nothing in it. I love it when you get a lot of these sites that just put out opinions. But let me just see. Yeah, they're talking about Mobabe or Mobai or whatever. The Dutchman is on a list of targets, right? If you're after another defender, right? If you're getting linked to another defender, that tells me there's a bit of meat in the bone when it comes to the Karel Starfelt story. Obviously, it came out that the Russians were thinking about making a move for Starfelt. They won't. He's not going to go back to Russia, right? We all know that that's just a red flag story. But what it does do, and it does tell me, is that there's no smoke without fire, and it could be just sort of telling the Portuguese and the Spanish teams to Costa del Sol is boiling. Yep, and the Costa Blanca is it's the humidity. It's not the heat. The heat's nothing. It's the humidity that's the problem, Derry Jerry. That's what's killing you, I'm afraid, is the humidity. You go on land about half an hour and you get away from the humidity, it's not so bad. But when are Celtic to start spending money? They have spent money, but just not the money that you thought they were going to spend. But we'll wait and see how these players that come in. I'll see 600 members. So goalie, kidding me, I'm in Paisley. Hail for Tipperary. Bye Starfelt. Right, let's get some more comments in. Hail from Tipperary. Bye Starfelt. Well, we hope it is bye Starfelt. Bobo's going to get you. Tell myself the Dutch guy's 6'5". Brendan does like a bit of height in his team, and I think if we've just brought in a defender that's 6'2" or whatever, and we've seen the picture, and I'll put the picture back up for any latecomers to the show. And where is it? It's this one here. So there, I mean, the Korean guy and the Norrocky are big guys. You know, they're big, tall guys. So it does say that we're giving something into the team. If we can bring in another defender that's going to think with them, contends, we need to cover at the back. We need to cover at the back. So who knows what's going to happen? Maybe we're going to go to a 3 at the back, and he's wanting 3 big, strong guys at the back. You don't know. You don't know. We can't tell. So let's get some more comments on the channel, because it is all about the comments. Hail from Haldane Balak. That's a cracking part of the country. Eh? Gitana. Let me see what they're saying about Gitana. I'll come back to Mark, your comment. Start with collapse. That's naughty. How well do you think Bosun Law will perform against Oscar? Personally, I think he is first team quality. He showed how his physique presence. Yes, I think you can't really go in that game. I think if he'd got on the pitch the first game, but he's more than capable replacement for Starfelt. So I think if there is smoke in the fire and Starfelt does go before the Balak Brigada, if Keyone is just a bit taller than Norrocky. Yep, I saw that. Can it be Big Stevie? Let's finish this one. I think, Bosun Lowell, I think he's going to be a great addition to the squad. The fact that he's getting some game time, and it isn't going to be about bringing these players in and keeping them in the first team as much as we can. I think that's why Brendan wants to reduce the squad also, so that he can keep these younger players on the peripheral of the team and bring them in bit by bit during the season. You never know, Bosun might get a run in the League Cup. You know how Brendan likes to do that. He did that the last time he was here. Changes the team a bit for the League Cup, and then when he gets to the final, he keeps these guys in for the final because basically they got through. So let's get some more comments. We need height. Martin knew it the last time we had real team for Europe. Yep, and it looks like we are finally getting in a bit height. Sell Starfelt for 3 million and get the big Dutch lad. How much did we buy Starfelt for? Did we not buy him for a 4 million or something? Was it not? For Legia Warsaw? Can't remember. I'll have to look at it. Anyone really fancies Starfelt? He's a bomb scare. Let's see what Lovett says. We'll see Roger signing coming in once the team is back. Yeah, the team is back at Lennox Town today, which is all good. And the picture shows the 3 new guys at Lennox Town today. So they were obviously going through all their paperwork and everything and getting all their pictures done for the social media team. And they've obviously had a bit of training, met all the lads today. So that'll be interesting to see how they progress this week. And if they get on the pitch at the weekend, that will be interesting. Anyone really fancies Starfelt as a bomb scare? If you're in Holland, do you want to go Dutch? Jesus, jeez. Oh my goodness. Right. Too much for my liking. Right, let's start. That's about it with the comments. We've been going for 39 minutes. We have gone on far, far too long. Don't sell Starfelt. Yeah, we bought one for 4 million. That's what I thought. Danny, we bought him for 4 million from Ruben Kazan, and we got him at a knockdown price, did we not? Because of the financial difficulty that they were in. So if we're going to be selling Starfelt, we're going to be selling him for between 6 and 8 million. So, and I think it'll be the higher end of that. Don't get carried away with the height. Shane Duffy. Oh my goodness. Right, come on. You can't even, where is that? You can't even. What? And yet, the season afterwards, Shane Duffy played a complete blinder. You know, Starfelt cost 4.5 million. So our centre backs cost us in total 15 million. The 3 centre backs. So yeah, that's good money, but we need to. Starfelt is a bit of a bomb scare for time to time. That is it. We're done. We're done. Hi from a brothel on London Road. I'm not even putting that up. Tell Ange you can have O for free. I would actually keep O. I think he's a player that could improve this season, but we'll see what happens. And let's get another comment up for the very last one, and then we're done for this evening. No more comments. Right, that's it. We're done. It's been fantastic live. We've obviously done the double. Let me just check Celtic social media again, just one last time to see if they're going to put another announcement for another incoming player. And it doesn't look like they're going to this evening. So there will be more. There will be a new player announced tomorrow. Hail, hail, says Urine Boy. Stop the show, says Danny. Top show. Good chat, bro. Bring back Gigi. Nice one, Baz, says and Torquay. Good chat. Bring back Gigi. That I think we probably sold him too quick, but he did want away. He wanted away, so you know you can't deny the player that. Hail, hail, troops. Hail, hail from Heatwave in mid Calder. I bet it's no. I've got sweat. Oh, it's the humidity, man. Honestly. Right. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow morning with the Celtic News update. Yeah, Lorna, you just came in. Good evening, everyone. Cheers, Baz. I'll wait, mate, the dinner now. No, I'm not. What are we doing for tea? Going out as usual. Right. I need to go and finish that. Tata says, Miranda, thanks for your love on the channel, Miranda. Have a great night. Well, and Baz, bring in Harry Kane. How much is he getting sold for? Is he going for over 100 odd million? What about Mbappe or whatever his name is, going for 256 million to Saudi? The Saudis are buying up everyone. And what about the player that was at, oh God, I'm still going on. Celtic player, defender that was sold, to be fair, we bought him from Dundee and it didn't work out. We then let him go for a nominal fee to Belgium. And they then sell him on for a massive 10 million. And it now looks as if he's going to go and play in Saudi. How the hell did that happen? And on that note, have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world. We're done. See you tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock for the live. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for the Celtic news. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your tapas, says Big Red. That has to be the last comment. I had tapas last night, actually. So I'm not sure we'll have it tonight. Depends. Tapas? Nah. Have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world.